We could add into our long list of topics today the Kanye West music video referencing Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian.
Apparently their divorce is final, which I don't know why that makes me sad, but I do know why it makes me sad. I'm a romantic at heart. I kind of always want to work out in the end, and so I always get a little bit disappointed when people get divorced, because it's like, I always kind of want to work out in the end, because if I ever get married, I want a wife who'll stick with me through thick and thin and stuff like that. So it's like,
yeah.
Like, eh. So I get a little bit sad when people get divorced. I don't know. I couldn't say for sure, but I would imagine that Kanye is not that much different now than when they got married. I mean, he's always been a bit eccentric and a bit, but that's part of being an artist. In many cases, like this is not like an uncommon thing where there's this kind of borderline between insanity and genius.
Yeah.
And some of the great artists and great scientists play with that line sometimes, and that's sometimes the reasons why they're great. And like, I'm not necessarily saying you have to like Kanye, but I think to say that he's not a great artist is is not fair, whether or not you like it personally. There's a lot of great artists I don't like personally, even though their art is great. So it's like, I don't know that he is fundamentally different now. So I don't know that, I'm not inside their marriage. Obviously, what do I know? But I get a little bit heartbroken because I kind of want to work out. I'm cheering I'm cheering for you and Mr. Bites. I'm cheering for
you. Well, thank you. I do agree. It's always sad when things don't work out. But I will say that in the cases where things are definitely never going to work out, it is probably better for it to end sooner rather than later, rather than wasting someone's entire life with someone that they should not be with. And it could very well be that she, had noticed ahead of time of, what it would be like living with him. And maybe she thought that it would be that she could handle it. And that at a certain point when they had kids, she decided that was not something that she could,
I can tame him. I can change him. Oh yes. That always works out so well, Legalbytes.
Yeah. I mean, well, either I can change him or I can handle it, because I know, I know what I can handle, and I'm different from other people, or something like that, or other people don't see in this person what I see in this person. And, maybe I have the patience to live with them, I don't know. It could be,
on a completely different note, Kim, call
me. Well, she's with Pete Davidson, and that's what the whole controversy is.
Oh, is he? I didn't know that. That's funny.
Yeah, so she's apparently with Pete Davidson now. They're dating, and the Pete controversy Davidson
strikes me as a pretty different person from Kanye. They strike me as pretty different personalities.
Yeah, he has an interesting. I mean, I'm not gonna. I don't want to be derogatory, but let's just say he seems like he in terms of dating, he tends to punch above his weight.
Which good for him, man.
It is good for him.
I don't know how he's pulling these women, but damn, man, he was dating Ariana Grande for a long time, and
weren't they engaged even at one point? So, but anyway, but the controversy, and so I see in the chat Pete Davidson, who actor on SNL, so or was on SNL or is on SNL. He still is. Okay, so but anyhow. Kanye just came out with a music video, I think like yesterday, that is, I think it's like in like claymation, or something like that. But it depicts him burying Pete Davidson alive, which is not a good thing. So there's a question of whether that goes to artistic expression, or where it starts to meander into the bounds of threatening violence.
I think in this particular case, I would lean way more heavily on the artistic expression end of that equation.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
I mean, well, the other pieces of context is there. I mean, he also, I think Emily D. Baker was talking about this yesterday. But I saw something about it on Twitter. I haven't actually looked into it, but she was saying that there was a lot more context to it also, though, that should be looked at as well, like the fact that, you know, he's been sharing their private, his and Kim's, so there are multiple he's here. I'll clarify. Kanye has been sharing screenshots of his text messages with Kim Kardashian, and she's been asking him to stop because they're, you know, their private communications. There's stuff about their kids, and then she's saying that you know, it's starting to endanger their kids, and she's really worried about that kind of stuff. And he's just not respecting what she's asking for. And yeah, so anyhow,
well, geez, a divorce where things are getting a bit ugly. There's a first,
yeah,
right? I mean, come on.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I definitely, I mean, it's, and this is why people do a prenup, and they have a prenup. So that was one of the reasons why the court decided to finalize their divorce yesterday. Was maybe, you know what, this really should have been one of the main topics. Talking about
It
Kanye
is
and Kim.
now.
I know it is now. I'll have to change the thumbnail maybe. But yeah, so apparently that was one of the reasons why the court decided to bifurcate the issues about, you know, either about finalizing the divorce and then also determining where everything goes. And the reason, I guess, was because of, or at least one of the reasons, was because of the fact that they have a prenup in place, and so they're able to sort of allocate assets a bit more easily that way.
But do they? Because we all know that prenups sometimes disappear into the night somehow, depending on the judge.